So here we have what we call a grouped frequency table. Now, later on in this day, we're going to look at some other things you can do with it, like cumulative frequency graphs and histograms. But for now, we're going to do what we call the estimate of the mean. So we know the mean is when you add up all the numbers and divide by how many, but we have a problem here because these four were somewhere in between here, so we can't add these four numbers up because we don't actually know what they are. They're somewhere in between. So what we actually do is choose a number to represent these groups, and we go for the midpoints, which is also the mean of the two numbers, so halfway. Nice and simple. So what we're actually doing, because we call it the estimate of the mean, because we're estimating what these four values are, because we don't actually know. So we're saying these four, let's say these are people, so these four people were 135 centimeters tall, so that's a total of 540, and you can see that we are timesing these to quickly find the totals. Now, if we add up all these totals and we add up the frequency, it tells us everybody's height in total and how many people we asked. So the 50 people we asked, that is their height in total. So the mean is always add them all up, divide by how many there were, and just type it into your calculator. So that should be, well, it doesn't tell us what this is, but I'm assuming it's centimeters. Here's another one. So they sometimes do give you like the extra 2 blank columns to give you a hint, but most of the time they don't. Sometimes they don't give you much space at all and they ask you to do this and a histogram on the same one, which is a bit of a nightmare. So, midpoints. I highlighted this one in red because you can see that the group's different width, which they can do. So we're assuming the time was 5 minutes for this group, so 11 of those would be 55, 15 of these, etc, etc, etc. Find our two totals, so that's the total of everyone's time added up together, and there is 100 people, so add them all up, divide by how many there are, so we get 22.4 minutes. So that is how you find an estimate of the mean from grouped frequency tables.